Week 2 college football picks and predictions. You're going to get it all here at the Reed DuPont Show. RDS, I'm your host, Reed DuPont. We're going to get right into it. Week 1 was absolutely insane. USC won. Boston College won. We had some crazy blowout games. It was just a live weekend to start out college football. Officially, I know we had week 0 where Georgia Tech beat up with Florida State. Week 1 officially was amazing. Texas played great. Ohio State played great. Bama played great. Georgia destroyed Clemson. It was spectacular. College football is officially back. With that being said, we're going to get right into week 2 picks and predictions. I got them here on my phone. We're going to just run through it all. Starting with college game day, 11 o'clock a.m. We got Texas, number 3 Texas versus number 10 Michigan in the big house. Top 10 matchup. Everything's on the line. Early season top 10 matchup. It's going to be a heck of a game. My parents are actually going to the game. Michigan's not the same team that they were last year when they were that natty team, you know. Texas looked amazing. Michigan struggled. They really struggled against Fresno State. I believe it was like a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter. They have some issues on the offensive side. Their defense, especially their corners, are amazing. They got a good defense. It's gonna be a back and forth game. I do have Texas though. I do have Texas winning. Texas 28, Michigan 17. I'll be watching that game. Hook 'em. Let's go. Next big game, we got 11 a.m. Arkansas at number 16 Oklahoma State. Arkansas looked insane last week. I believe they put up 70. Just absolutely crushed their opponent. They looked really strong, but they are going into Stillwater. That's always a tough environment, even though it's not a night game. Oklahoma State's 7.5 favorite going into that game, and I actually have Oklahoma State winning. I think it's going to be a back and forth kind of air raid type game. I got Arkansas 42, Oklahoma State 45. Game-winning field goal. Moving on. Number 17, Kansas State at Tulane. Tulane's one of those teams that could make it into the playoffs as that 5th conference. Coming into the season, Kansas State, they got a lot of hype around them. They're actually one of the Big 12 favorites. They're up there with Utah and whatnot. That's gonna be a back and forth game. We're really gonna see what Kansas State is made of going into Tulane, because Tulane's got a good team. They got a good running back and whatnot. I think it's just gonna be another back and forth game, and I got Kansas State winning that game. 35, Tulane 32. It's probably going to be a game-winning field goal as well. So that's just another 11 o'clock game. That's basically, we got Texas, Michigan, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Tulane, all at 11 o'clock. That's going to be must-watch television. As we move forward into the day, we got one more 11 o'clock, actually. Georgia Tech, after they came off that amazing win, week 0 over Florida State. We got Georgia Tech at Syracuse. I don't know what Syracuse looks like. I know what Georgia Tech looks like. They love to run the ball. They got Hayes King at quarterback. Georgia Tech looks good. I'm going to keep riding on Georgia Tech, and I got them winning 24. Georgia Tech 24, Syracuse 23. Now as we head to later in the day, we're going to get that next matchup, 2:30 matchup. Baylor at number 11, Utah. Utah's the real deal. Cam Rising is, he is the man. He's had some injuries, but he's the man. He's a veteran quarterback, and he's played in big games. He's played in all the big games. Baylor on the other side of things, we're still going to see what they're made of. We do not know what they're made of. Baylor's always had a great defense. We're going to see if their defense comes alive in this game. They're going to have to head to Utah, which is going to be a tough environment. And because of that, just too much Cam Rising, too much home field advantage. I have Utah winning that game 42, Utah, Baylor 14. Now, Iowa State, guys. This matchup, is always a blast to watch. It's always been a low-scoring game for years. But from last week, we saw Iowa. We saw Iowa put on that air raid, right? This game's in Iowa. Okay, at Iowa. Sorry, because Iowa State's in Iowa as well. But Iowa State's heading to Iowa, so it's not too far of a travel, obviously. But Iowa is going to have that home advantage. Iowa is ranked 21. They looked amazing. They've always had a defense. They finally got possibly their offense clicking, and because of that, I have Iowa winning. And that's actually going to be a little bit more high-scoring game than it has in the past, where it's like 3-6, 0-3, 6-9, you know? I actually have it Iowa State 17, Iowa 28. They're going to put up 28 points. Let's head to the SEC, right? We got South Carolina at Kentucky. Kentucky's a sleeper this year, guys. I think Kentucky is going to be a sleeper. They just have a lot of talent on that team. Stoops, amazing head coach. South Carolina, I still haven't seen anything from them that makes me want to believe in them. Because of that, I got South Carolina 17, Kentucky 35. Heading forward, we got next on the list, we got Kansas number 19 at Illinois. This is a really interesting matchup. Big 12 versus Big 10 early season matchup. We really don't see this often. Kansas is looking like the best team they've ever looked. You know, they looked amazing last year. Everyone's healthy. They got Neal at running back. Kansas is that team, another sleeper that can make noise in the Big 12 and in just the whole college football aspect. I'm going to lead on Kansas to win this game. I don't think Illinois is going to put up much points, even though they got a home field advantage. Because of that, I got Kansas 24, Illinois 14. Late game, we got number 14, Tennessee at number 24, NC State. Both teams won week 1. NC State did not look very good. I'm a big NC State fan. They love to upset people, whether it's Clemson, you know, they've upsetted Florida State, whatnot. They can make games a game, you know, especially when they're the underdog. They got the home field advantage, but I just did not like how they looked in week 1. And because of that, especially with how Tennessee looked with their new 5-star quarterback, freshman, I'm going to lead Tennessee in this matchup. Tennessee 31, NC State 17. Another late game, Colorado versus at Nebraska. Both teams are unranked, but both teams won week 1. There's so much hype. There's so much hype in this game just because Deion Sanders, Hunter, Shadur. I mean, there's just so much hype around that Colorado team. And then there's so much for Nebraska, you know, that, you know, this win could mean everything for their program moving forward. So there's so much on the line going into this game that whoever loses, you know, they got immediately a target on their back. Whoever wins, this just gives them so much more momentum heading into week 3. I'm hyped. I mean, this game could go either or, right? It's one of those games that could go either or, especially because it's at Nebraska. If this game was at Colorado, I would give Colorado the immediate win. Because this game's at Nebraska, there's going to be a bunch of points scored. I think Colorado actually loses this game. Colorado 35, Nebraska 38. I think OU steamrolls Houston. Houston's not much of a team. And in the late game, this is the upset. This is where I think this is the biggest game other than obviously Texas, Michigan. But from an upset standpoint, this is the game to watch, guys. Late game. We got this game at, man, what time is this game at? Is it late? 9 o'clock kickoff. Boise State at number 7, Oregon. Oregon looked terrible last week against Idaho. They won by like 2 touchdowns. It was a one-possession game the entire game. Oregon was not good. They were ranked number 3. Even though they won, they dropped to 7. Even the committee saw that they are not the team that they thought they were heading into the season. Boise State running back put up absolute numbers last week. I believe it was 200 plus, 250 plus rushing yards. Boise State's that team that can get into the playoff, that 12th, that 5th conference, that 12th team to make it in. And I think there's an upset just bound to happen, even though it's in Eugene, even though it's a night game. I have Boise State with the upset. Boise State 52, Oregon 48, an absolute air raid of a game, an absolute rushing yard of a game. So much offense, a lot of trick plays, a lot of just miscues and just big yardage games. It's going to be a heck of a matchup. That game and then obviously the Texas-Michigan game at 11 are going to be the two biggest games. And that's going to be the big upset of the week. So it's going to be a packed week of college football week 2. A lot of just, really feeling out teams and seeing what they are really going to look like heading in the season to really see where they stand. For instance, Texas. They played Colorado State last week, right? They're not good, right? They're not good. I want to see what the Texas team actually looks like against, a top-tier team, right, in Michigan. I want to see what Oregon looks like. I want to see what Colorado, Nebraska look like. We're going to get it this week in this week two lineup, right? So I'm super hyped. Let me know in the comments below, who is your college football team? Who will you be rooting for this coming weekend? And with that, I'll see y'all in that next podcast. Peace.